Hello everybody and welcome to episode 4 of these combined snapshot videos with me, Maniclutter. And if I don't just throw myself onto the floor, today we will be looking at the last major thing, which is ocean ruins and how archaeology has been implemented to them. And we'll hopefully be getting some vanilla sniffers today, and perhaps I will, after all, have a look at the well that we noticed off in the distance somewhere. I have just bumped into the well. Looks like an emerald, yeah. There isn't much suspicious sand in these, usually just one or two blocks. Just the one in this instance. Proper jungle temple. I don't believe they've had suspicious gravel or anything of the like added to them. I will just see what's in there though. I did throw away the armour that I trimmed at the end of the last episode, seeing as that was netherite armour that I brought into the game using creative mode. I somewhat regret now using my legitimately got trims on cheated in item that I then had to throw away, but hey, I wanted to show off the things that I'd found. There are, yes! Armor trims to be found in here too, and I'll see if at the end of this session I can get some actual legitimate armor in. Well, the night passed mostly without incident, though we've got the usual fiends spawning in. Oh, fantastic, they have grown up, and we can see a few different growth stages, so this is I think the second stage here of the pitcher plant accounted for the third and the fourth and final stage, which is good, and we've even got some fully formed torch flowers too. I'll just pick up my smithing template and emeralds, and I could do with my crafting bench and my smithing table. I have some chests as it is though, and I've got all my tools, my one tool as a matter of fact, so I will grab some bread and head off to find an ocean. After killing many cows and uncovering a few golden carrots from a submerged ruined nether portal, I find myself at an ocean. Not a warm one, sadly, but one that appears to have some of its ruins on the surface. Ah, there is a drowned for me to contend with, though it doesn't appear to be much of a contender, unless I launch myself right at him. Pickaxes are not effective weapons. Let's see if this buried treasure map is of any use. One chest boat later, I'm ready to give this ocean a proper explore. Turns out that that house on the surface wasn't a one-off. I just slept in a village for the night. My boat is just over the horizon there, down in the sea, which gratefully continues this way. These won't be much use to me because it is the case that it's only in the suspicious sand of warm and lukewarm ocean ruins that they'll get sniffer eggs. I did find a new treasure map inside one of their chests, which I think is in the direction I want to be going anyway. It wasn't, but as it was so close, I thought I'd give it a look anyway. They are handy because they contain leather armor, which will make it very easy to legitimately showcase some of the armor trims later on. A witch's hut and a pillager outpost in relatively close proximity. Maybe I'll slay the witch, make camp here. Way! By all means, come join me in the river. Might need to go to that pillager outpost to get some wool for a bed. Oh, they haven't got any tents. Sometimes they have nice little wool-covered buildings that you can snag the wool from and make a bed out of, which is something I took advantage of in my survival world. Okay, be free. Help me. Thank goodness they imprison iron golems. It would be far harder to take these places if they didn't. Another reason to come here is because of the armor trims that they keep up in the top chest. Aha, there we are. Another trim to showcase. Now that I've retrieved my boat, I am going to head this way, seeing as beside that pillager outpost, there seem to be shattered savanna, and hopefully warm savanna biome will spill over into some warm oceans. Saying that, it doesn't look like it has. Oh well, I'll have a route around and see for sure. See for sure? On the edge of this here mangrove, I've at last found me at least a lukewarm ocean. It's just a matter of finding the ocean ruins, and hopefully, in no time at all, we'll have dug up some sniffer eggs. I see something by the beach over there. Oh, even ones on land. Well, I can start with that, and that'll be an easy win if we do get a sniffer egg from there. Ah, it was not quite the last one. There's another, an emerald. I saw more lights in the ocean, but of course it is coral. There are some ocean ruins here. For the sake of ease, I am going to drink one of these. Well, that very tragically proved fruitless down there, so keep cracking on, see what I can find. Oh, don't end war motion. Please, I need more. There goes my second potion of water breathing. Second and last. I'm very, very glad that I showed them off using creative. They are very hard to find, these sniffer eggs. I wonder if, as we're in the pre-releases now, they've changed the generation rate for these eggs as part of the loot, because it was far easier for me to find two in my survival world, in my Let's Play. Meanwhile here, not even a whiff of a sniffer. So, I've just cleared these out. I did see one just on top here. Oh, oh, let me get a proper look at that. Ah, yes! Yes, my first sniffer egg. I was just beginning to give up hope. Smells interesting. I will check the other buildings. There was some coal in this first one. What about this one? Yes, I think that. Oh, thank goodness for that. Oh, oh, I was so worried that I wasn't going to find enough. Okay, that's all I need. I'm not going to faff around looking for any more. What I am going to faff around doing is moss. The finding of moss. I might be able to find a shipwreck, or I could look for an azalea tree, which would probably take me just as long, if not longer, than my search for an ocean ruin that yielded me sniffer eggs, and then follow that azalea tree down into the lush cave below. But as I'm in the ocean already, a shipwreck probably is my best and easiest option, particularly when there's a full one right on the surface. Oh my goodness, I do so love these. And it's a good way out of the water, so it won't need clearing of too much. No, not of too much. Okay. I always love doing this. In fact, I've made more than one base out of whole shipwrecks that I found like this on the surface. Oh, this is my favourite thing. Okay, I'll be right back. Well, I broke the all-important chest with the moss in, and so I'm going to go ahead and start developing some sniffers. Hopefully they can dig around in the biome over there in the savannah. We will see. I'll continue to develop while I clear out the rest of this boat. Ooh, they've aged a stage already. So placing them on moss will accelerate their development rate. It will double the speed at which it happens. So it will happen in just half of a full day-night cycle rather than a full day-night cycle that it usually takes. 10 minutes rather than 20, I believe. Oh, another stage. I could hear them crack actually. I wonder what the sound was. It sounded like a wet fish hitting the deck, but it was the sound of the eggs developing. Marvellous stuff. I almost caught that on camera. That's so disappointing. You can see they were both stood on their blocks, their respective blocks still. Oh, I just turned off the camera because I was going to reset and say that this saga of the Sniffers is exactly why I have a separate showcase world, because we had a proper look at how hard to find the Sniffer eggs could be. So I'll wait for them to grow up. I might need some way of getting them over to the savannah here where they can root around as adults in the dirt, dig up some ancient seeds. Well, I don't know what one actually can find in villages. On the off chance that I could have found leaves, I just had a quick look in the one over there, but it looks like these baby sniffers are finding their own way to the grass. One less thing for me to worry about. I have noticed on my way back that the buried treasure appears to be possibly buried right under the boat I found the map in. It should be just here. There we go. Just some iron and leather armor, nothing to write home about. Well, and of course a heart of the sea and potions of water breathing, the usual. Now I've done all of my ocean exploration, it's all a bit perfunctory. So, using the leather that I found along the way, I will finish off a full suit. There we are. Give it a bit of pizzazz. So, the new trims. Ah, that's something else they've changed. You don't need to put things in smithing template first to be able to add the armor and then the material you want to use. You can put the armor in or indeed the material first if you so please. So that's what our first new type looks like. The wild armor trim, looking decidedly unwild, I think. Don't know what you think. Doesn't look like anything too spectacular though. Now for the sentry, which I think looks a little bit better. Yeah, with a nice little focal point in the middle. Now I did show off what June looked like on a chest plate in the prior episode, and this is what it looks like on the other items of clothing. Reasonably reasonable, I think. It looks particularly good on the leggings. It's unfortunate that much of it is actually covered up by the tunic. However, of course, when one is only wearing a pair of elytra, then you get to see the whole pattern on the leggings. There we go, all trimmed out. Ah, it's getting dark. I'm glad I noticed that. One of the baby sniffers is getting just a little bit far from my boat. For comfort, I'm going to gently nudge them back from whence they came. Go on, mate. No, stop wandering all the way over this way. I don't want to lose you now. Well, I suppose they make enough noise. I could probably find them again, and they're quite large when they grow up. I just don't know how long it's going to take, because it feels like it's been a long while already. A watch kettle never boils. A watch sniffer never grows up. Just while we're waiting for these lovely fellows to grow up, I think it's possible for me to talk about some of the tweaks and the bug fixes that have happened. And for one of the tweaks, I'm going to need you. All I need is that with which you can provide me by way of wool. Thank you. Now, historically, one could only dye. Oh, his lapis not a dye anymore? Ah, okay, it's just one step away from being dye. That's not so rough. One used to only be able to dye white wool into any other colour that one wanted, but now, now it is the case that one can dye any colour of wool or wool-related thing like beds and carpet. This used to not be doable. Also, as of this re-release, bug to do with the nether portal animation repeating itself as soon as you'd gone to the other side and were still stood in it has been patched out. And I've been wandering past so many ruined nether portals without a care, not even thinking to pick up the obsidian with which I might repair them. And now, now I could really do with one to demonstrate. The best and easiest way to showcase this is with a quick little bit of creative survival and the animation doesn't play. You can see the world as clear as day, as it should be. Ah, that's funny. I wanted you. Now, which Let's Play moment am I going to relive? Brutal murder or digging a hole? There's one gone. And the other. That should make it easier for you. And I get these nice leads. Here's one. He's nearby already. And the other. Follow me now. I want to keep you in the vicinity. Come on, chaps. I feel bad stringing them up in a desert. Well, a beach, but a sandy spot. Of course, one at a time. There you go. Hopefully you'll grow up soon. Do you have anything interesting? That is a resounding no. I could have just killed you and lost nothing. A couple of the other changes that I can at least tell you about while we're still waiting for our lovely sniffers to grow up are changes to the lighting engine which have improved the performance quality of the game. A chap that I follow, Zisuma Void, has done a nice detailed video on that in his last couple videos covering the latest snapshot and this pre-release. And something added to Bedrock Edition, I believe, are the camera commands, which people have been using for the most remarkable things, such as making side scrollers or even top-down parodies of the earliest Zelda games. Do let me know if you'd like to see me cover more of that in any greater detail than I do, but for now I think I'll be leaving that to other folk. Oh, I'm so glad I saw that. Now that should be both of them in theory. Oh, he's going straight in. Excellent. What are you going to dig up? The torchflower seeds. Fantastic. And there's the second one. Now, how quickly are you going to go for more seeds? You stuck your nose in it immediately. You are going to take some more time. Well, perhaps we'll leave it for the next episode to see what kind of things these chaps can dig up. I know we've seen them before when I've cheated them in, but I think it'll be nice to see how quickly we can get our torchflower and pitcher plant resources set up in relative vanilla. Speaking of which, I'll have torn down that portal by the time we start the next episode. Until then, I bid you all farewell.